Today's video is something that I think a lot of you guys have been waiting for. There has been so many new games revealed recently from many different types of genres, and right now would be the perfect time to make an updated video on new upcoming games to look forward. From an all new All Out War FPS, an horror open world game against a train that wants to kill you, to a beautiful action RPG you've never heard of. There's quite a lot to get into, so let's just start right away. And make sure you guys give some support on this video if you'd like to see more of this. First off, we have Choo Choo Charles. Now, some of you might have seen this reveal already through IGN, GameSpot, or simply all around the internet, since it blew up for how unique and just awesome it looks. The developer of Choo Choo Charles also sent me some gameplay exclusively for this video, so let's start. In Choo Choo Charles, you're given the task of eradicating a monster known by the locals as Charles. Nobody knows where he came from, but they know why: to eat the flesh of bunny humans. You have a small yellow train with a map, mounted machine gun, and an exquisite collection of bobbleheads on the dashboard. You'll use this train to get from place to place while you complete missions for the townspeople or loot scraps from around the island. Over time, you'll use your scraps to upgrade your train's speed, armor, and damage. You'll grow your arsenal and hopefully become an unstoppable force ready to take on the great and mighty Charles. These winding tracks are treacherous, so you'll need to plan each mission. Be careful when clearing your path on foot or switching the track's direction, because Charles might be waiting for you. The winding tracks in this massive open world are completely different and unique, so you'll need to plan each mission because you might get lost or find a place you weren't supposed to. You also need to make your train a death machine on wheels, with tons of upgrades available to make your own unique train and also weapons to create. The ultimate goal of the game is to collect 3 special items from around the island that will be used to summon Charles to fight you to the death. If you successfully kill him with your train, then you beat the game and you can continue to roam around the world to completely finish the game 100%. But finding these 3 items and having them all together at once will be extremely difficult, and Charles doesn't want you to have it. Let me know what you guys think of it. Next up, we have Project M, an exciting action RPG project that brings a ton of boss fights to PC and consoles on the Unreal Engine that is truly to its limits with this game. Project M is an upcoming dark fantasy action RPG from the South Korean developer Aunt 13. The game is currently under development with the help of Garena. The studio, which has had successes such as Android Soul, has now released a battle prototype for their latest RPG, which looks really cool. Project M was revealed during the Unreal Summit Online 2021, and again is going to be released on next-gen consoles and PC sometimes in the future, but no true release date at the moment, maybe 2022 or later. It's been confirmed the game will include a lot of gore and brutality, and you'll be able to cut limbs of enemies and many other parts of the bodies, basically any parts depending on where you hit. The game is also of course inspired by Dark Souls, but will be more violent in some ways. Not much details has been revealed yet, but it is looking like a really promising project, and with it coming to consoles makes it even better. Let me know what you think of it. Next up, we have The Invincible, a realistic retro-futuristic action-adventure game that has you and other scientists go on an interstellar scientific expedition, and of course things did not turn out as planned. I'm really excited for this as it looks to offer a completely different kind of space game while keeping some mystery and action. Waking up as a space scientist on an hostile planet, you embark on a mysterious mission to find the missing crew of your spaceship. Survival is a matter of your correct choices, taken while uncovering the secrets of the planet bigger than anyone thought. You are a scientist on board an interstellar scientific expedition that is suddenly thrown into a life or death rescue mission. Landing on a planet registered, you have to find the missing crew members using some advanced space equipment or relying on your brains and instinct to survive on the planet, which quickly occurs to be unwelcoming. Soon you'll discover that Registered holds terrifying secrets which are uncovered while you're piecing together the fate of your crew. And as you delve deeper into the mystery, you realize that perhaps you are not alone and that some places like this planet are better left untouched, but it is too late to turn back. The Invincible is said to be 100% inspired by the space race between the United States and Russia back in the 20th century. I love what I'm seeing for now. Next up, we have The Day Before, an open-world post-apocalyptic zombie game taking place in the remains of New York and its outskirts, in a world filled with other players and infected, which has just now been confirmed for PC, PS5 and Xbox Series X, but consoles will be just a bit later than PC for the release. The Day Before is an open-world MMO survival set in a deadly post-pandemic America overrun by flesh-hungry infected and survivors killing each other for food, weapons, and cars. You wake up alone in a world you no longer remember, setting out to find answers and the resources to survive. You can meet anyone and whenever you want, act as you want, cooperate with people or rob them, it is your choice. And of course you can loot the defeated players. The possibility to gather with friends, meet and make new friends in a safe place will create many personal stories from those who will play The Day Before. In Woodbury Survivor Colony, you can not only communicate with other players, but also talk to the inhabitants of the colony, take tasks from them, and reveal more details about the world. The focus is on the big city and its surroundings, but players will also be able to explore farms, vast meadows, small settlements, majestic forests, and snow-capped mountains. It is a hand-detailed world aiming to convey the romance of the post-apocalypse, and in which players could live their own stories, and you can travel with many different vehicles, have your own place, and such. Next up, we have The Lost Wild, one of the most interesting upcoming dinosaur game I've seen in years. The Lost Wild reveal trailer left me really excited to try out this experience. The trailer is well made and the developers actually know what they're doing. A true horror survival project with different dinosaurs haunting you. The Lost Wild is an immersive and cinematic dinosaur game that captures the reverence and terror of nature's most magnificent animals. The dinosaurs go well beyond simple monster mechanics, with built-in self-preservation and reactive systemic AI behavior. In this game, you'll contest your place in the food chain and intimidate, lure, and repel animals using non-lethal weaponry, resulting in both physical and psychological encounters. Explore abandoned Japanese facilities nestled within a lush wilderness teeming with prehistoric life. Scavenge and find useful items to improve your chances of survival. You'll also need to use stealth, elude, and hide from dinosaurs that hunt you down. Create distractions and locate structures to gain an advantage. Use the items you have collected to give yourself more options in each encounter. Outmaneuver, run, lure, distract, and if all else fails, hide. You can also scare off predators with different techniques that you'll have to discover in the wild, and there are many techniques. Next up, we have World War III, which the official closed beta test, said to be some kind of early access release, is officially releasing this November 25th. And man, does the experience seems to have evolved from what it was in the past. World War III released in 2018 originally and was said to be the battlefield killer. Now of course it failed, but now it's back with a complete evolution and looks really exciting. World War III is an online multiplayer tactical FPS set against the backdrop of a modern global conflict. Team up to outgun and outflank the enemy in thrilling tactical skirmishes waged across real-world locations like Warsaw, Berlin, and Moscow. Customize your perfect loadout from a huge weapons arsenal, then deploy vehicles, gadgets, and drones and call in strikes to seize the advantage. Use every tool at your disposal to win the fight. Get your boots on the ground as an infantry soldier, drive around in tanks and vehicles, utilize drones to survey the battlefield and call in tactical strikes for maximum damage. Hit the battlefield with up to 40 players in 2 core game modes. Unleash your arsenal in tactical ops, where 2 teams of 20 must attack or defend capture points in fast-paced skirmishes. Team Deathmatch is a classic FPS mode that's an action-packed 10 vs 10 race to victory. Work together to plan tactical strikes and full-scale assaults to score the highest kill count. In the game, you can also create your perfect loadout and choose from hundreds of combinations of unique weapon components and cosmetic customization to make it personal. Your vehicles, tactical gears, and uniforms are all fully customizable, so you can really make your mark on the battlefield. Next up, we have Asterigos. In Asterigos, Hilda, a brave Northrend Legion warrior, seeks to find her lost father and enters the mythical Cursed City. She would come to realize the rise and fall of a great city, witness history in the making, and face difficult choices which will shape the entire kingdom kingdom's fate. The game's events unfold in Apes, a city-state inspired by ancient Rome and classical Greek designs, and is full of magic and wonder. From the mist-covered bazaar streets to gloomy sewers, the enigmatic forest at the city's outskirts to deep dungeons full of glittering crystals, the landscapes of Apes are full of beauty and dangers. Poisonous vines could choke you to death, or deadly arrow traps will injure the unwary, and deadly creatures lurk in the shadows. Werewolves who will launch surprise attacks from the rooftops overhead, axe-wielding brutes, and much more. Hilda's combat options are heavily tied to her character progression. The talent system allows you to pick and expand your combat style by choosing 2 out of 6 completely different weapons: sword and shields, dual blades, spear, hammer, staff, or magic bracelets. This one looks like a really fun action RPG project that came out of nowhere, and I'm excited for it. Next up, we have Negative Atmosphere, an upcoming horror survival game that has both a third-person view and first-person in some parts, and is of course heavily inspired by Dead Space. Negative Atmosphere is a third-person over-the-shoulder survival horror game dedicated to dread, tension, and trauma. Trapped aboard the void ship TRH Ruzanov, Samuel Edwards must evade, fight, and kill his former crewmates as an outbreak transforms them into monsters. There's only one way out, an entire ship to cross. Danger lurks around every corner and time is running out. Explore the depths of the Ruzanov, pull whatever resources you can out of its guts, and run. The Ruzanov is infested with threats from man and machine alike. Humans on board have mostly fallen victim to the outbreak, twisting their limbs and stretching their bodies into creatures that are near unrecognizable. Robots are becoming unstable. Some turn violent and roam the ship's corridors, while others break down in a state of utter panic. Between the remains of the crew, the confused husk of metal, and other terrors that school in every shadow, every engagement could be Samuel's last. As chief medical officer of the Ruzanov, Edwards has a confident, in-depth understanding of medicinal drugs, so that could come in useful. Next up, we have Earth from Another Sun. Some people are calling this game Mount and Blade, but in space. Earth from Another Sun is an open-world galactic domination sandbox where you command massive armies to fight alongside you on planets and in space. Progress to the single-player mode or join up to 60 players for a galactic dominion conquest to test your skills against others. Grow your empire, obliterate enemies with military might, control the galactic trade markets, master diplomatic relations, or conduct clandestine criminal activities. The galaxy is yours for the taking. Earth from Another Sun's open-world galaxy is filled with countless points of interest. Travel from station to station, planet to planet, or up across star systems where there's always something new to discover, as is said by the game's description. You'll also be able to create adventure events in the form of mini-stories that others can explore while playing. Build a chain of events that link to a larger epic saga or a one-off moment that players will never forget. Your imagination is the only limit to what's possible, says the game description. Following launch, you'll be able to create NPCs, questlines, 3D models, and customize your own territory. This game really supports mods. Finally, we have Shadow of Conspiracy Section 2. Shadow of Conspiracy is a thriller set in dystopian 2087 Berlin, where players have to investigate a police chief's murder. Over the course of the investigation, players must find a missing girl who plays a key role in the mystery. The game combines shooter and stealth mechanics. Key features of the game include a true next-generation experience thanks to the early adoption of Unreal Engine 5. Also, the implementation of MetaHuman allows for photorealistic characters. The inspirations for this brand new game can be found in movies like Blade Runner and Ghost in the Shell, as well as games like The Last of Us and Metal Gear Solid series. In the game, you'll explore a setting that you've never seen before. It is a cyberpunk metropolis shielded by massive walls from its devastated open-world surroundings, where outcasts gather and malfunctioning machines roam the land. Meet the citizens of Berlin who are plagued by corruption, inequality, and cyberization. It is an emotional main story and hours of extra content consisting of gripping side missions, heart-wrenching moral dilemmas, and electrifying investigations. Finally, you'll be able to customize your character's abilities and weapons for whatever playstyle you prefer. Choose from a vast array of shooter, stealth, and role-playing game mechanics. The game sounds and looks like a cool game in some parts, but in some other parts it looks kinda weird and unfinished. Time will tell if it's something worth picking up or not. Alright guys, that is all for today's video. If you'd like to see more videos just like this on the channel, make sure you guys give some support and of course subscribe to stay tuned. I'll talk to you all very soon. Thanks to Richard Westfall, Bruce Rain 236, Thunderbeard, Kianzo Fagari, Rickno23, Diamond Hunter 45, Themistocles, Spacebeard Gaming, and Rush Singbati for being a master member on the channel. You can become a survivor member for as low as 99 cents only by clicking the join button below. This will support me and the channel as a whole to continue making videos on the games that truly deserve it.